in the city now, so we won't have these problems. Oh, God. We're headed to Advance. And they better be lucky that I am turning over a new leaf this year. Okay? They better feel lucky. That's all I'm saying. Because the old Brooke would walk up in here. I'd come in hot for sure, you know. I'm about to cuss some people out because this was wrong. First of all, this is the wrong headlight. No way. Go figure. I didn't expect anything less, actually. I think I even said that. I think I said yesterday. Watch it be the wrong damn headlight. You know how I know? Because this is the world now. People are not expected to, apparently, they're not expected to know how to do their jobs. We don't expect them to know how to do their jobs. And so in return, when you go in to do a simple task, like get a headlight, they sell you the wrong one. This is why people are ordering stuff online, I guess. I've had downsides to that as well, but regardless, this is why these businesses are definitely going out of business. You know, sales are down. Car parts are expensive as hell now. Car parts are up. Sales are down. I got hair all over me. I'll never forget walking into a bank last year and a financial advisor telling me that I didn't need a financial advisor. I'm sorry, what? That'd be like me going into a tax office to file taxes and they're like, oh, you're good. Don't worry about it. You don't need to file taxes. I just can't believe that I'm living in the twilight zone, you know? Nobody wants to do their job. And half the people, I guess they don't want to do it because they can't do it. I get that too. But like, somebody said last night I ought to get Advanced Auto to change the bulb out for me. They can't even sell me the right bulb, girl. But I already knew this. So that's why I'm not upset. I was mentally prepared for some bullshit because y'all don't understand. Shit just don't go easy for me in life. I don't know if I buy lemons. Betty, you're not a lemon, girl. You're a rose. I don't get it. First of all, the headlight is stuck in there. So the headlight is going to have to come out. So exciting. I might cry. The headlight is going to have to come out. And it is absolutely going to have to go to a dealership. And it's going to snow on Monday. I'm going to die. I'm going to die physically. I'm going to die. You know, I should go up in here and raise hell, but the kid that sold me the damn thing doesn't seem like he knew what he was doing, so I'm just going to roll with it and return the damn thing. Pisses me off so bad. I mean, I just want people to do their job. It's not a hard concept. It's literally what you signed up to do. So if you could do it, I'd greatly appreciate it before I flip and murder you. I'm trying. Good morning, Jennifer. And Chevrolet ain't gonna have no appointment for me in the next 2 weeks, so my truck's gonna be out of date regardless. Like my tags, I'm gonna have to ride illegally. I won't have any choice because Chevrolet has, and I'm saying from what they had going on last year, hell, at this point it might be booked out a month before I can get a fucking appointment, and it'll have to be dropped off. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I have no way to know what's gonna happen. I came in and bought this, and it's not the right one. And so I just need to... Do I need my card?
Yeah, if we're doing a return...
I'll just leave that. Yeah, thank you. I'll be right back. All right, I'm not thinking. So the mechanic, he's a good guy. He's done work on my cars before. I forgot that place even existed until I drove by it. Gave him a call. Said, hey. He said, yeah, bring it on by. And then I get there, and he takes one look at the bulb. He's like, first of all, this ain't even the right damn bulb. What am I looking for? My card. This is the world now, you know? Like, and it's only going to get worse because people are getting dumber. So these types of things, this is why these types of things are getting worse. It's literally their job, you know? Some dude is honking at me right now. We're going to get in here before we get kidnapped. Thank you.
So, did you want to get the correct bulb for it?
No. Okay. It's going to have to go into a dealership.
Okay, so it is the HID, I assume?
Yeah, it's the $100 one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's happened.
I hate when that, because the thing is, too, they make the cars both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Some with the halogen, some with the HIDs. My mom ran into the same thing.
So it's a halogen? Halogen?
So this is the halogen bulb.
Mm-hmm.
What you need is an HID bulb.
Okay.
Yes,
I already knew that, but when I came in, he's the one that said that that's what I needed, so.
Yes, ma'am. So I looked it up under your vehicle, too, because it's on the receipt. I looked it up as well, and it does offer this as one of the options.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is just, like I said, they made it with both. Some of the vehicles had HIDs, some of them had halogen lights.
It's okay.
Let's see, and this is unopened.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, even better.
Boy, the heck I bet. Yes, it did. This roll of money's going away quick. It's Haley's fault.
So 3423 is going to go back onto your card. You can tap into the swipe.
Sweet.
I dropped it down a little bit.
Do you need this whole receipt?
No, you're fine. Thank you so much. I love your jacket, by the way. It reminds me of like a flight jacket, like a fighter jacket.
You know what? I've had this thing since I was probably 14.
Oh, yeah? Let's try it and true then.
I love it, actually.
Worth a try. Yeah. Can't hurt.
The best part is,
Oh, it's got lining in it, too.
yes, it has a hood that zips onto it, and very warm. It's great, but clean. Now, it may take 24 to 48 hours
Right.
for that to get back on your card. It all depends on your bank. And I don't. Let me find my pen real quick. I'm gonna have you sign this. Please,
Sweet.
Please. So here's the receipt. You're saying it went back.
Thank you.
You need to sign that.
No problem.
But you'll have a great day. You too.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. No, you're fine.
Dropping stuff now too. If you can just sign right there with that there.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Awesome. You have a great one. Okay, so she was super nice, by the way. The guy, he probably didn't know that my truck. So first of all, the guy, the mechanic, he said that he ain't never seen these light bulbs in this truck. So I trust him over people on the internet because he been doing work longer than most people been alive, honey. So I trust him. He said that it's strange that these lights are in here. You know what it is, though, is this is those... Thank you. It'll work out, I guess. Or we can drive it off a bridge for insurance. I mean, it'll just pay it off. We won't get no money. We won't get no money. It'll just pay it off. Yeah, I'm going to have to... That's what I'm going to do now is call them. I need to try to make an appointment. I'm going to have to... They're going to have to take the bumper off the front end. Absolutely. That's the only way they're going to be able to get to it because it's stuck. I don't know if it's just been in there. I mean, it is a 2017, so... 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's an 8-year-old truck at this point. Even though it's nice as hell still, I'm actually surprised. sometimes I'm surprised because I'm like, damn, this thing's almost 10 years old and she still don't look like it. Like, she's still, you know, a nice truck. But, what are we doing, y'all? Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Oh, my Lord, oh, my Lord. God dang, these people don't know how to drive. My mom in a Honda. He said he ain't never seen them lights in there before. He said he couldn't get it out. Hell, he said what I said. I said, how do men even get their little hands in that little circle? And it's also sharp. There's metal. It like slices your freaking hand up when you're trying to get the thing out. And they got these big old hands in there trying to get it out, and they can't get it out. And it does not turn and come out. And if it does turn and come out, then I guess metal on metal baked together after 8 years of use. I don't know. You know what I mean? Sucks. Nothing's ever easy for me. Like I said, I could win the lottery today and then get hit by a damn train tomorrow. This is what I mean. It's just like I literally have the worst luck when it comes to shit like this. Every time I need something fixed on my car, it's a pain in the ass. It's a whole day, week, month project, you know. Nothing is ever as easy as just going and buying the damn part and putting the part like I used to do when I bought some of my first cars back when I was damn 16 years old, you know? Like, I don't understand why shit's so difficult, but it sure is, honey. It sure is. Absolute madness. Yeah, it's gonna have to go to a dealership. And the headlight alone is gonna be $100. So I was right in my assessment. The guy at Advanced Auto just didn't know. He just didn't know. In his defense, he just didn't know. Okay. So typically I'd be pissed and I would have went in angry, but he just didn't know. And I understand that. And I'm glad that girl was nice. Y'all heard me chatting with her. She had on a cute, like, it was like a black leather jacket that looked like a flight jacket from like a flight school or something. It looks like what was the movie with Tom Cruise? Y'all, my brain. Anyways, I gotta find it. I gotta Google. This is spoiling my whole day. It's like completely ruined all of my plans. I needed to get the headlight changed. I needed to get an inspection, which is in a different place. Then I needed to go buy tags and registration to renew my tags. So now all of that is on hold because, good morning, Salvador. Now all of that's on hold. So win. Hey, Kevin. And it's supposed to snow Monday. It's like a 90% chance of snow where I'm at. So, and Monday. Sunday and Monday. I don't know what I'm going to do. This has me so stressed out. I Because Chevy's going to be booked out for weeks, if not months. I guess what I should do is find a different auto mechanic store, maybe not Chevy. Because if I go to Chevy, y'all, they're going to charge me probably $150 for the headlight. You don't understand. I went in for 4 tires once. They charged me $1,200 for 4 standard tires. Those tires used are $30 to $60 a piece, but the same tires new from Walmart are $130 a piece. So 130 times 4 and 1,200. That's how much I got ripped off, you know. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what car dealerships charge in comparison to other auto mechanic shops. So I need to find a car shop that can car mechanic. If I can find a car mechanic, that's going to be my best option, is because I can't afford Chevrolet. This is still going to run me $200-300, so. And, you know, I mean, I'm guessing that it's going to run me that, because with them having to take the headlight completely out, they have to drop the front bumper. If that's the case, then we're getting into the 5s to the 6s to the $700s of dollars, with the chance of me having to leave my car overnight somewhere and figure out what to do. Like, this has become a massive problem that I can't even wrap my mind around right now. And I don't know how to fix it. And I was supposed to be going to church with my aunt on Sunday, and this sucks. I would recommend, before you go to an Advance or any kind of auto parts store, I would recommend looking up what parts you need before you go in there. You can find the make and model and all of that on your computer. Do not listen to Advanced Auto Parts, because more often than not, they will sell you the wrong parts. There's so many different parts and stuff nowadays that you're just better off looking it up yourself, in my experience. And I already knew what light bulb I needed before I went in there, and he's the one that said, oh, this is the one that it takes. So I just went with it. Because he's the specialist, right? He's the one that works with car parts every day. None of these places are open on the weekend, of course. Click on these. There we go. What is going on? Alright. I got different places. I don't know if either one of them will be able to do it because it's going to be a project. I need to look up something. So I'm looking up to see how to take this headlight out, right? It's because I haven't washed. Thank you. So I'm looking at how to get the headlight out of a Chevy Silverado 2017, right? Let's take a gander because I want to show y'all. First of all, is this it? So you see how it says 2016 to 2018? Let me click on this. Hold on. No, I need the whole headlight out, bruh. That's not it. That's the problem. It's stuck. But this is old. That was 2018, but that's an older model than mine because mine has a different front end. I know mine's a 2017, but I don't know how to explain it. I guess mine has that body. Mine looks like that from the front. So mine's older than this truck on the bottom. So half of this don't even make sense half the time, but none of these fit the description of mine. See, that one says Chevy 2016 to 2018, but it looks nothing like mine. Let me just take a gander. I mean, how hard is it to get the damn headlight off? I think I could do it. I don't have TikTok or time for that. Every time I try to watch a video on TikTok, it wants me to download a fucking app, and I don't support that behavior. Plain and simple, and that's why I don't have TikTok. TikTok is brain rotting. Every time I've ever tried to watch TikTok, it's nothing but children dancing on the internet. It's really sad, actually. I don't want to promote that. TikTok is more for children, in my opinion. Clearly, because that's all over it. That's what's all over it. I'm trying to see if he's going to take this out or if he's... Kid, you're not helping. Pull it out right there. Pull it out right there. None of these match my truck. There's another one. Looks nothing like my front end. Nothing. So what? I just got a one-of-a-kind that I can't even find pictures or videos of? It's crazy. There's no way. Even the mechanic was like, what the f is going on? That's what he said. He said, I've never seen these headlights in here. I said, well, aren't they factory? He's like, yeah, they come with two, but it won't come out. What year is that? 2018. That looks more like my body. See, even his are older. His truck is newer than mine, And even his are different than mine. Mine look nothing like that. This is a 2018. Looks nothing like mine. It doesn't make any damn sense. I guess this was one of the nicer trucks on the lot, as I remember. You know, damn, almost 5 years ago. Four and a half. So maybe it was like top of the line in 2017, you know, because my body looks like the GMC Denali's now. So maybe my truck was top of the line when they made it in 2017, because it looks nothing like the 2017 models that you see on the road with the chrome and regular headlights. Like, these headlights are the bright ones. So it's gonna be over $100 for the headlight, but I returned that other one, so I'll get my money back to my card. I'm not seeing how to remove the whole headlight. There's not even video there, but I'm gonna go to Google. Yeah, I have to get it done, but like I needed to get all of this done today, and that's what sucks. So now I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I had a full day schedule and now I can't even get the headlight out. So it just ruins all of my plans. I guess I could wash. Well, I don't have anything to wash. I do need to organize and clean. What was I looking for? Brooke, get it together. Jesus, Brooke. Oh, headlight. Took me a minute. Headlight removal. 2017 Chevy Silverado. How to remove the headlight in a 2017 Silverado. Disconnect the battery. Girl, these damn AI overviews. I mean, at least they're trying to prevent people from getting messed up, I guess. There's one video from 5 years ago, and we already just looked at it. It is not even the right truck. Is this what I need to do? Jesus, are you trying to tell me something right now, that I need to go buy an old car and teach people how to work on them? This is crazy. You would think there would be a lot more auto mechanic stuff on YouTube, is what I'm saying. I mean, all of the videos are years ago. So I love tinkering, but not on this new shit. Not on shit that's apparently made by aliens, because why is nothing standard on this damn thing? Like, nothing is whatever you call it, you know what I mean? There's no video, so I know when he had to put that whole new headlight in, that whole, because I had to replace one, it was $5,000 for just the headlight, the whole thing, the whole headlight. When he had to put that in, I don't know how he did it. I don't know if he had to take off the front bumper, or if he, I don't know how he did it. So I'm just gonna have to take it somewhere and pray that they can fix it. They'll fix it. They'll fix it. I try to stay positive, and then shit like this goes down. Oh, I had 4 plans. I was gonna do the headlight, get it inspected, do the tags, all in different parts of the city, so it would have took half the day, and then go by the junkyard to see if they had a piece for under the engine, a piece for something I need. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Oh God, I'm not getting into this with y'all. I've been to mechanics. Lord, I went by a certified mechanic shop that, you know, does inspections and stuff. Like, he works on engines for a living. He actually had like 15 cars out there. Please, don't stress me out even more. It has to go into a shop. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. 3 people have worked on it. 3. It has to go into a shop. Has nothing to do with the bulb. The whole mechanism is stuck. You can't get the bulb out because the thing that is holding the bulb is stuck in the whole headlight frame. So the whole headlight has to come out. There's a cover on the front that's clear that the headlight goes through. That cover has to come off, and it's going to have to be mechanically removed. And here's the kicker. Some parts might need to be replaced in that because I don't know what all that entails. This is why it's got to go to a shop. It's already been to a shop this morning, and he said it's going to have to go to like Chevy or set up an appointment with him to get the headlight out. So he can fix it. I don't know how much he would charge, and I might actually just call him back and say, hey, can you do this before the end of the month, and how much would it run me? But, you know, this guy is a certified shop, so it would be cheaper than Chevrolet, but I don't know if it would be cheaper than these other people that I'm going to call. So whoever can get me in the quickest and do it for the cheapest is going to get the job. Plain and simple. It has nothing to do with the headlight. The headlight is stuck. The bulb is stuck in the headlight, and it cannot be accessed from the back of the paneling in the engine block. The whole headlight has to be removed. Thank you. I'm glad we had this talk. It stresses me out so bad. I feel like I need caffeine. I haven't had any. Maybe that's why I'm grouchy. Let's get some caffeine. No, I'm grouchy because I know that Chevrolet has to get that headlight out. It's going to be over $1,000. I just already know it because I know I've dealt with them the entire time I've had this truck up until recently when I decided to say, screw Chevrolet. I'm sick of them ripping me off. One of these mechanics will get it done. It's just, how many days is it going to take? Where am I going to stay if they have to keep my car overnight? Like, I don't know what I'll do. That's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't have anyone to go stay with. So, you know, not anybody that's safe, you know. There's thousands of people I could go stay with. Don't get it twisted. Maybe I need to be clear when I speak. There's no one safe in a drug-free, stable environment for me to stay with, so I just choose not to. But if they have to take my car in and keep it overnight, I don't know what I'll do. Mentally stable, not so much. So let's talk about the DOJ. I also want to talk about the gay couple that we were talking about the other day because there was an update in their case, some information that was released. about this couple is very disturbing. So there was 2 men in Georgia who adopted 2 children. They were both sentenced to 100 years in prison each. And you know, when I heard this, that's a rather large sentence for sexual abuse. Typically with these sexual abuse cases, these people only get a few months, if a year or 2 or 3. You know, it has to be pretty violent, numerous occasions. There has to be mitigating circumstances to see these type of charges and these types of sentences. So this is William and Zachary Zulock. They were a gay married couple. One of them worked for the government, and the other one was in banking. So, judging from their social media profiles and videos of the couples, in my opinion, it appears that Zachary wore the pants in the relationship, and they adopted these 2 boys. And these boys were younger when they were adopted, and court documents have showed that there was so how this investigation kicked off was that Zachary, who was the older father, him and his boyfriend were 2 years apart. He was sending pictures of their sons, their adopted children, to friends, and he was having text conversations about essaying these children. Not only that, apparently Zachary and William had made plans to let some of their closest friends sleep with their children, and they were actually offering their adoptive children out to be abused. Now, thank God no one took these men up on these offers, but this information somehow made its hands into the FBI, and they started an investigation into these guys. And when they raided the home of Zachary and William, they found over 3 million different pictures of child porn. 3 million pictures of their adoptive children. They were essaying these kids on a daily basis. These 2 children that lived with these 2 gay men, it is now believed that they adopted these children with the intent of abusing them, which is disgusting. And it goes to, let me just remind you guys that they were adopted through a Christian agency. So this was a Christian organization that adopted to 2 gay men. A Christian organization that adopted to 2, they allowed 2 gay men to adopt 2 little boys. This case, I can't even talk about half of the details because it's so disturbing. This video would get demonetized. These boys, who are now 12 and 10, spent the good part of their lives from 3 and 5 years old, I do believe. So the memories that they have of what life they've had, memory usually starts to come into play around 5 to 7 years old. We get our first memories, most of us, not all. But for the better part of the lives that they know, these boys were getting essayed on a daily basis by both of their fathers. It was being recorded, it was being filmed, it was being mailed, it was being emailed, it was being over 3 million pictures. 3 million. And this was not only a Christian agency, but it was a special needs agency for children who had disabilities, which makes this even more disturbing. And I have no doubt, knowing now what we know, that that Zachary Zulock and William Zulock, that they adopted these children intentionally. Now it looks like they adopted children with special needs intentionally to abuse them. Children with special needs are way less likely to talk about any sexual abuse that is going on. A lot of these children are deaf and mute, and they are incapable of reporting this abuse because they are completely disabled. They were regularly forcing these little boys to be abused, to have SA, to fornicate with them. I mean, it's just one of the most disturbing sexual abuse cases that I've ever read about. Court documents have been released, and this is how I know this information. There's nothing in this New York Post. I just wanted to show y'all pictures to remind you of who these people were. These little boys were adopted with the intent of these men, these gay men, William and Zachary Zulock, to abuse them, film it, and then distribute child pornography. They got 100 years each in prison, so we'll never hear or see from them again unless Biden somehow makes it back into office and he pardons them. It's just disturbing. I did not know the details, and we talked about this case, I think last week or week before last. I told you guys about it, but there's no details in the reporting. So when I saw a court link thing, you can go, they were just sentenced, so now the court documents are linked online, so you can go read what they did, and it's disturbing. Like I said, but I can't even say because this will get demonetized. So there was a report that came out yesterday, actually like last night. It says that the U.S. DOJ spent over $100 million in the last 4 years on education programs supporting DEI initiatives. This is no surprise. We know that they spent over $100 billion. They deferred funds from FEMA to support illegal immigration. So it's no surprise that they spent over $100 million in 4 years on DEI programs. The Department of Justice has allocated over $100 million in the past 4 years to fund education programs related to the restorative justice, social emotional learning, SEL, and diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI programs. This funding, distributed across 900 school districts in 36 states between 2021 and 2024, has been outlined in a new report from Parents Defending Education. It is a conservative-leaning organization. According to the PDE report, a significant portion of the funds, $45.2 million, supported projects focused on restorative justice practices and SEL, while $32 million was allocated to initiatives promoting DEI, aiming to enhance educational outcomes for specific demographic groups. Additionally, nearly $19.9 million was used for certifications of consultants, many of whom advocate for what critics have labeled decisive concepts like critical race theory and queer theory. The report also highlights funding for hiring new administrators, including positions for restorative justice facilitators. Notably, the Minnesota Department of Education received nearly $2 million to promote anti-racism practices in school, while Ocean County, New Jersey, received almost $1 million to implement violence reduction programs, which included efforts to address bullying by framing it as a form of oppression, The spending of these funds sparked concern, with critics questioning whether such initiative prioritize ideological goals over the intermediate needs of students. Some argue shifting away from traditional discipline in favor of restorative practices may disrupt classroom learning. I think not. This has raised concerns about whether the focus of social emotional learning and DEI is compromising the safety and academic progress of students. It absolutely has, and it's divided this country. These DEI programs and queer theory and critical race theory and, social emotional learning, absolutely not. This is why people are getting dumber, because things like the programs like this are being pushed front and center instead of things like home economics and workshop and philosophy and psychiatry and things that are actually important, that are tried and true in our education system. This is stupid as hell. I mean, I'm glad to know that they wasted everybody's tax money. More of it. So I noticed today, I saw an article talking about Mark Robertson, who was supposed to be he was running for governor of North Carolina. And, you know, he made some questionable statements as he was running. He told women that they needed to keep their legs closed and they need to keep their dresses down, insinuating that, you know, he didn't believe in abortion and that abortion wasn't a way to fix your mistakes. And he's told women through his campaign that they needed to learn to stop being promiscuous and close their legs. I don't see a problem with that. If that offends you, then maybe your promiscuous ways are catching up to you if that offends you, you know? Like, if you feel some type of way about that, tells me who you are. But anyways, I read that some guy named Josh Stein won. But right before I read about this, I saw that there were 4 homicides in 2 days in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this has been one of the most deadliest years on record for Charlotte, North Carolina. For those that don't know, I used to live in Charlotte, and I lived on South End in one of the most safest areas, and it was still dangerous. So it looks like December 29th and 30th, police reported 4 homicides in 2 days, adding to the city's heaviest toll of gun violence and capping the year when Charlotte-Mecklenburg police investigated more than 100 homicides in the city. This is crazy because Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh-Durham are horrible, dangerous, deadly areas. Plain and simple. Deadly. And, you know, it's crazy because you had a great opportunity, North Carolina. You had a wonderful opportunity to put someone, maybe not Mark Robertson. I don't know if what is being alleged about him is true. Apparently, the reason that he lost was, and he was Republican, and he wanted to bring some normalcy back to North Carolina. He wanted to go more of a conservative route. He lost to a guy named Josh Stein, who is a Democrat, who wants to go in the complete opposite direction and continue on the war path that we're already on. But there was it was alleged that Mark Robertson had said some homophobic, racist comments in a private chat from 2010. You know, the crazy part is it really shows how North Carolinians have no idea who and what they're voting for when they vote in this area. Because, first of all, Mark Robertson, those are all alleged allegations. There's no validity to this. Nobody's been able to produce, you know, these messages. It was just alleged that he might have said some homophobic, racist stuff. And let me remind you that nobody liked him to start with because he told women to keep their legs closed. See, women don't like to hear, keep your legs closed, keep your dress down, because it makes them feel guilty about the promiscuous lifestyle that they're leading. Men don't like to hear other men tell women that because they want to get laid. So I get it. You know, North Carolina has become so perverse that they would rather vote for a man that is, you know, Josh Stein, who has no idea what he's doing, and he's a Democrat. And I just want to be clear that these reports in Charlotte, I want to make a prediction. Since we have a new governor, since Mark Robertson was made out to be this horrible person, when actually he's one of the few people that I've saw push decent policy in the right direction to secure a better future for the future generations that are coming up. I actually like the controversy behind him because that's exactly what we need. We need people out here saying, hey girl, keep your legs closed, because if you fuck up, that's your responsibility. Abortion is not supposed to be, you know, it's murder, but it's not supposed to be birth control. So I want to make a prediction. They said that Charlotte, North Carolina had, you know, a cap and more than 100 homicides plus 4 in 2 days. At this rate, with a new governor not doing anything but, you know, if they're, in my opinion, if they're on the left in North Carolina, all they're money hungry, and that's all they care about is money. So this is why UNC Chapel Hill looks like this. This is why the rest of the state looks like this. This is why everybody is living in fucking poverty. Everybody is struggling in North Carolina. Nobody can pay their damn bills. And this is why, because y'all keep voting in people Y'all take things personally. Y'all get defensive. I'm talking about the left. They take it personal and they're like, oh, I'm not voting for that guy because I don't like what he says. They don't look at his policies, what he's doing, and what he plans to do for the actual city. And so I'm going to say that next year we'll beat this record, and I'm going to add another 70. So I think next year we'll reach 175 homicides in Charlotte. We'll see what happens. And that's just judging off the fact of who the new governor is. So things are not going to change for you North Carolinians. And I'm sorry, y'all failed. Y'all had a great opportunity to put in a Republican. It didn't have to be Mark Robinson, but y'all had a great opportunity. Y'all did so great coming in clutch for Donald Trump, but then you still and go vote for the same people that are part of the swamp. So if you think that this is going to help you, my prediction is that y'all messed up sorely with putting Josh Stein in office, and I think that y'all are going to regret this. But I don't live here anymore. I live under a Republican governor. I live under Ron DeSantis, so I don't have to worry about these problems. I'm just making a prediction on how much more violent Charlotte will get in the next year, and we'll come back to this. I'm sure I'll see a report this time next year that says, oh, wow, they beat the record they beat last year, and we'll see what that number was at. But I'm calling 175 for next year, and I hope that's not the case. Maybe, this new governor, maybe he'll bring crime down. Have some faith, Brooke. So I just think it's a failed opportunity, and I think that we need leaders that are brave, that say what the tough stuff that people don't want to hear. Close your legs, don't fornicate outside of marriage. I don't know, man. I just think that they missed the opportunity. How do you vote for Donald Trump and then you still vote in a Democratic demon? Anybody from North Carolina that voted for him? Please explain it to me. How did we get Donald Trump back in office? We were all on the same page. We were on the forefront of making sure we got a Republican in office so these things didn't continue to happen. But then when it comes to the governor, you guys vote in a Democratic governor after voting for Trump? It just sounds counterproductive, because what people are failing to realize is that nothing's going to change now for North Carolina. That governor will prevent any positive change here. He's going to run this state like a Democratic state because he's a Democrat. And not only is he a Democrat, but, the little moving in the shadows behind the scenes, there's so many other people that come into play in his office, in his administration, that were in this old office, in Roy Cooper's office for years. And so this does not, enact? This does not bring forth change, honey. You don't vote for Donald Trump and then vote for a Democratic governor. It's just counterproductive, and my prediction is nothing will change in North Carolina because of this. I don't like this Josh Stein guy. Listen, here's where I'm at. I say a lot of controversial shit. Mark Robinson, they labeled him homophobic because he was against men and women's spaces. He was against boys and little girls' sports. See, Mark Robinson wanted to go back to normalcy in this state, and y'all blew it. Y'all blew it. Y'all believe bullshit. Oh, he made some racist, homophobic tweets in 1665. And they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. The North Carolinian people fell for it. They believed the media. They believed the news. And y'all are going to be stuck with the choices of your mistakes, because y'all got Josh Stein, who is a Democrat. And I'm here to tell you, if you were expecting things to get better for you, baby, it's going to be a lot harder with a Democratic governor in office in your state. They're going to be working against you. People get so hung up on this abortion and gay rights and all of this, and it's just crazy. Like, I really wish that people would stop looking at these politicians and start looking at the policies, okay? Look at what they're fighting for. Look at what they've been doing their whole career. It's public information. It's not hard to see. And North Carolina blew it. So I'm glad I live in Florida now. They blew it. So I know I've been saying for like 3 days that we were going to talk about SSRIs. And we are. But I wanted multiple outlets. I wanted to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, and the maybe. You know, I wanted to hear a little bit of everything. I'm getting spicy. Sorry, the heat was on. I wanted to hear the good, the bad, the ugly. And for those that don't know a little bit of background, I started taking medication when I was super young. I was thinking about it last night, and I was trying to timeline when I started medication. And I do believe I started medication probably before I knew I started medication. Like, I was that young, because the first hospital stay I ever had, I was 7 years old. So they put me in a children's unit of UNC Chapel Hill. And I have history with Chapel Hill. I've been in this hospital for trauma, abuse, and all of these things since I was a small child. And I do believe one of my first stays, I would have been 6, 7, maybe 8. And it was before I told about my childhood sexual abuse. And then after I told about the childhood sexual abuse at 9, they sent me back to the hospital for another stay. And I do believe I probably had 5 or 6 stays in my childhood at the same hospital. And not only there, but they actually locked me up in Buckner, North Carolina, which is an insane asylum, when I was a child, several times. It's definitely the type of place where if you refuse to take your medication, they strap you to a bed. And they come in with syringes and they inject you with medication, and you'll stay there until you start taking your medication again. So this was a very traumatic thing for me as a child. And a lot of my childhood I don't remember because of the antidepressants that I was on, which is SSRIs. And, you know, this is one of the reasons that I don't believe in giving children these medications, because half of my childhood is gone. And it's because of SSRIs. It's because of things like Wellbutrin, Depakote, Prozac, Seroquel, lithium. I mean, I've been on so much. I was going over different drugs, and those are from different classes of drugs. Those are not all SSRIs, let me be clear. But, you know, I was going over these drug lists, and I've been on most of them. And mood stabilizers, anti-anxiety medications, SSRIs, you name it, I've been on it. And by the time I was 13, I had gained so much weight from all of these medications. You know, it's just not okay. It's not okay. When we are talking about children, whether it is in a transitioning gender affirming care setting or a mental health pharmaceutical setting, this is not acceptable. And I feel the same about these children being on these drugs, just like I do about gender affirming care. This is not acceptable. These children's brains are not fully developed, and wiping their memory out and doping them up on these chemicals, it's medical malpractice. It's not okay. It's disturbing. So, I want to read some of this to y'all, and then we're going to talk about these antidepressants and how many people are on them. I mean, there's millions of people. I do believe that I read 13% of the population, and hold on. $43.6 million people. Think about the financial part of that. I mean, that is a lot of people. Think about how much money these pharmaceutical companies are making off of this. This is lucrative. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, antidepressants came out in the 1970s. SSRIs did. And, you know, for a long time, they were tried and true. However, there's been multiple studies to show that they're not tried and true. There is a huge, what they consider a placebo effect. And what this is, it's where you take a pill and subconsciously you're like, oh, I took that pill, I'm going to feel better. And so you start to feel better because you know you took the pill. And it's what they consider a placebo effect. So you're not actually feeling better from the medication. It's just mentally, you're positive thinking. And so you think you feel better. And I'm not saying every person that takes these is having the placebo effect, but what they did notice is a great number does. A great number. So I'm not saying they don't work. They absolutely do. And I want to be clear that a lot of these medications are physically addictive. So if you get on an antidepressant and then you try to stop an antidepressant, you're going to be sick as hell. You could have physical withdrawals. You're definitely going to have mental withdrawals. And someone left a comment on a post and I read it, and they were explaining that these SSRIs, they don't necessarily make people happy. And what these are is they work with the serotonin in your brain. They're supposed to amp up the serotonin in your brain. So, and that's what they're called. Hold on one second. Where's the technical name? It's serotonin. Come on, man. So it looks like they did a study, and I can't think, hold on one second. Why is it not telling me the serotonin? It's not telling me the technical name of SSRI. I can't say it. It works with your brain serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So it's called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and it's used to treat depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions. They call them antidepressants, but Celexa, Lexapro, Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft, I've been on all of those, and I was on all of those probably around the time that they came out, unless they've been out since the 70s, because I distinctively remember all of those in my childhood. This is why I don't remember anything. Like, this is crazy. So, there is a lot of side effects that come with these medications, and that's something that most medical providers, unfortunately, when they're prescribing them, they do not tell their patients. But diarrhea, insomnia, nausea, headaches, sexual dysfunction is a huge one. And, you know, I just need to mention that a lot of youth and younger people actually suffer from suicidal tendencies after taking these antidepressants. I needed to say that while I could, but it has been shown to actually raise depression and suicidal tendencies in some people. Antidepressants. Imagine going on a pill thinking it's going to help you not be so depressed, and it makes it worse. We actually see that in a lot of youth and younger people. This is very common as far as the suicidal tendencies. This is very common for all age groups, but also sexual dysfunction. This is a huge problem. There's a lot of people that the antidepressants, the SSRIs, they completely ruin their sex life. They ruin it. They have no desire. They have no function. And that's sad. So also you can get dizziness, dry mouth. And that's just a few of the side effects. But let's go back. So the article, parts of the article that I'm about to read you was actually written in 2016. I'm actually surprised that I even found this, because everything on the internet concerning mental health drugs, antidepressants, SSRIs, whatever you want to call them, everything is in support of them and how great they are for the country and how they're helping people. And, you know, it's hard to find facts. So most of everything I'm reading you is going to be from the National Institute of Medicine. I think that's the name of it. Hold on one second. The British Journal of General Practice. Got to go out of the country. Got to subcontract for information. And the SCIAM. Listen, I don't know. But anyways, this article is from 2016. It says antidepressants are some of the most commonly prescribed medications out there. More than 1 out of every 10 Americans over the age of 12, and that's roughly 11%, take these drugs. Now, that was back in 2016, and if we were sitting at 11% of the country being on these mental health drugs, I do believe that I saw somewhere it said 13 or 16% of Americans are on antidepressants, SSRIs, in this type of drugs, which is crazy. Think about the billions of dollars that they are raking in off of this. And they don't even work. 74, hold on, let me throw some real statistics. 74% placebo effect. That means out of every 4 patients that are on antidepressants, 3 out of 4 are not actually seeing any benefit from these antidepressants. They're having what they consider a placebo effect. So, do they work? Studies show that they don't. People think that they're working because it's the placebo effect. They're taking something, they're having faith in something, and because of that, their mood gets better. So 11%. And yet, recent reports have revealed that important data about the safety of these drugs, especially their risk for children and adolescents, has been withheld from the medical community and the public. In the latest, most comprehensive analysis, a group of researchers at the Nordic Center showed that pharmaceutical companies were not presenting the full extent of serious harm in clinical studies reports, which are detailed documents sent to a regulatory authorities such as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the European Medicines Agency, EMA, when applying for approval of a new drug. The researchers examined documents from 70 double-blind, placebo-controlled trials of 2 common types of antidepressant, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and SSRI, and they did an SNRI, which this has got serotonin and norepinephrine in it, which is both happy chemicals. So they did 2 different studies and found that the occurrence of suicidal thoughts and aggressive behavior doubled in children and adolescents who use these medications. So first of all, I was on these medications and I was busting heads open in school. You said something sideways to me and I was coming for you. Right, and I would do it right in the middle of the classroom. I didn't give a shit. Playground, cafeteria, gym. You did something to me. You tried to bully me. You bullied one of my friends, and I'd come up and just whack you in the face. And I was on these SSRIs when I was doing this in school. So it's not a coincidence that these studies found this, and I was behaving as such on these medications. Last September, a study published in the Journal of Clinical Epidemiology revealed that 1/3 of meta-analysts of antidepressant studies were written by pharma employees. Listen, were written by pharma employees, and that these were 22 times less likely than other meta studies to include negative statements about the drug. So here we have the pharmaceutical industry lying about the downsides of these antidepressants in patients because they are writing these studies and they are doctoring them to fit their narrative so that they can get more people on mental health drugs. It's crazy. Same month, another research group reported after reanalyzing the data from study 329, So there was also a study in 2001 that was done, and they found that, and it was a study trial of Paxil funded by this company, GlaxoSmithKline. They uncovered exaggerating statements and undisclosed harm to adolescents. So I'm assuming that that is, hold on one second, let's see if that is a drug company. Yeah, it is. It's GSK. It's a British multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology company. They were established in 2001. That would have been one of the last medications I would have been on because I graduated in 2004. But before I went to training school, they had me on Paxil. So that's interesting. And actually, I feel like I might have been on it before then, because that's a big one, Paxil. December of 92. Yeah, I knew that sounded familiar. So anyways, they did the study in 01. So because of this selective reporting of negative outcomes in journal articles, the researchers in the most recent BMJ study turned to clinical trial reports, which included more detailed information about the trials. They discovered that some of the most useful information was in individual patient listings buried in the appendix. Y'all, it looks like some kind of book. For example, they uncovered suicide attempts that were passed off as emotional liability or worsening depression in the report itself. This information, however, was only available for 32 out of the 70 trials. We found that a lot of the information were often unavailable to the authorities, and the authorities had never requested them. So there's a PhD doctor that said, quote, "I'm actually kind of scared about how bad the actual situation would be if we had the complete data, because the information that they found out that they were doctoring reports to not disclose to the public how dangerous these SSRIs are." This doctor says he's terrified to see the complete data, because if they had it, it would be even worse, because the data that they have shows that these only work around 26% of the time. That means only 1 out of every approximate 4 people is seeing a benefit from these SSRIs. And more often than not, this goes another route, causing things to get worse in the patient. Their mental health problems will worsen. And this is what the studies have shown. Now, the studies that have been pushed forward was by the drug companies. Quote, this study confirms that the full degree of harm of antidepressants is not reported. They are not reported in the published literature. What we know that, and it appears that they are not properly reported in the clinical study reports that go onto the regulators and form the basis of decisions about licensing. So here we have an article talking about how these drug companies have doctored these studies in support of their narrative to push more mental health drugs on people, even though clearly the data shows that SSRIs are extremely dangerous. And, you know, me personally, no child needs to be on drugs like this. Absolutely not. It wipes their memory clean. They will not remember anything from their childhood. And I'm speaking from personal experience. The only thing I remember from my childhood is trauma. And this is why. Because every time we had a happy moment, it gets wiped clean. But the trauma sticks with you. You know, when there's madness going on in the house, you can remember that. So many prior studies found increased suicidal ideation with antidepressant use. In a 2004, FDA gave these drugs a black box warning, a label reserved for the most serious hazards, and the EMA issued similar alerts. There are no labels about risk for aggression. However, there are no labels about risk for aggression, however. And what they found is these SSRIs in children and adolescents, it doubles their aggression. It makes, what did it say up here? Hold on. Let me just get this right, since I have to be perfect all the time. Yes, aggressive behavior doubled in children and adolescents. So I was right. I just said it ass backwards. So when children are taking these SSRIs, they double their chance of being aggressive. So if you already have an aggressive child, or you raised an aggressive child like my parents did, and then you put them on these things, they're going to go to school and start breaking bones. And that's exactly what I did. And it's just crazy how I was labeled this problematic child because I didn't want to conform from an early age. And then they put you on drugs and call you crazy your whole life, when they're the ones poisoning you from the inside out. These things are very dangerous. So, This study said there are no labels about the risk for aggression, although hints about hostile behavior existed in the past, including in published case studies. Last week, the BMJ study was the first large-scale work to document an increase in aggressive behavior in children and adolescents. This is obviously important in the debate about school shootings in the states and many other places where the perpetrators are frequently taking antidepressants. I wonder if Thomas Crooks was on antidepressants. We'll never know. Taken together without other research that raises questions about the pros and cons of this class of drug, including studies that suggest antidepressants are only marginally better than placebos, some experts say it's time to reevaluate. Now, this was in 2016, and it wasn't too long after, things switched up in our government. It's no surprise that this information has been covered up and ignored. It's no surprise that, I'm glad that this hinted that antidepressant could be the cause of all of these shootings that we're seeing in these schools. We had over 80 school shootings this year. That's a new record. Every year, these things are getting worse and worse, and every year we're putting more adolescents, teenagers, adults on antidepressants when we know that they only help 1 out of 4 people. 1 out of 4. 74% saw a placebo effect in studies. So do SSRIs work? In my opinion, no. 20-something% is a no. That's no. It doesn't even need to hit the market. And then you think about the fact that it doubles the chances of aggression in children and adolescents, hence school shootings possibly. And also that, that it wipes their memory clean. It wipes their memory. They don't remember nothing from their childhood because of these drugs. And I'm speaking from personal experience. They only remember the bad. So let's get into the actual study. This is through National Library of Medicine. It was also put out in 2016. What happened? What happened, you guys? We were going in the right direction, and then Big Farm and the medical industry took a whole left turn, didn't it? This was published at the same time around about. So it says November of 2016. Safe spaces are areas at universities that seek to protect students from ideas that they might find triggering and potentially upsetting. Fine in principle, but the unintentional consequence is that this shuts down free speech and discussion. A new authoritarian political correctness with a simplistic dogma that there is a right and wrong way to think, and this is encroaching into medicine. Questioning the current model of mental health leads to angry accusations of dismissing mental health. Yet, as we begin to acknowledge the risk of overdiagnosing generally, there seems to be an unwillingness to acknowledge this in mental health illness. So this article is going to talk about how these SSRIs are overly prescribed. And it looks like in 2016, if they did a whole multiple studies on this, bad medicine and the rise of antidepressants. So this is really the time that we see these SSRIs being pushed like they're pushed now. We've got, I think, 13 to 16% of the U.S. population living on antidepressants. So let's read some of the antidepressants. Prescribing rates have doubled in a decade to 61 million prescriptions in just 2015. And we know that there's over 43 million Americans that are on these things now. So I can't even imagine how many prescriptions. Most patients have mild, moderate depressive symptoms. Some reviews suggest antidepressants are ineffective in this group, but assuming antidepressants are effective, the numbers need to treat is meaning only that 14% of patients actually benefit. Holy shit, I was wrong. It wasn't 24%, it's 14. Y'all, only 14% of people benefit. How much do you have to doctor? That ain't doctoring. That, you know, what we just read about, how these pharmaceutical agencies these pharmaceutical companies were doctoring their reports in benefit of pushing this drug out more. Honey, 14% success rate. That ain't doctoring a report. That's straight up lying in a report. A further 75% of the observed benefit of antidepressants is, in fact, simply a placebo response. So, no, SSRIs do not work. I need a water. You know, I was kind of getting upset because it's like, why would my parents put me on some shit like this? Did they just not know? My whole fucking childhood is fucked up from shit like this, and I guess they just didn't know. This study wasn't done until 2016, and actually they knew this before. They started doing these studies in 2000, and all of these studies were headed in the same direction, that these SSRIs were not good for children, they're not good for the youth, and they 75% simply had a placebo response to the medication. Only 14% of patients actually benefited from SSRIs, and this has been a continuous thing up until 2016, when we see, I can't find anything past 2016 on these medications. So, you know, we know that there was a switch, and that's kind of the moment that Big Pharma kind of took over this country. So it's just disturbing because to see the numbers, and I completely had it wrong. When I initially skimmed through it, I wanted to make sure that it had the numbers in there, because I looked this up this morning. You know, it's crazy researching this stuff. Sometimes I don't have time to read it all through. I just wanted to find a cohesive number that was from a certified medical institute, and you know, the National Library of Medicine is tried and true. We can trust them. Actually, you know, unless you're a leftist, you know, then you'll hate it, because it actually is one of the few places that we can go and get statistical studies and actually see numbers and know that they're not lying to us. It's sad. And it says in this study that there's actually effective non-drug alternatives that work much better than these SSRIs, but pharmaceutical industries are just refusing to use them. So it looks like antidepressants have been prescribed for decades, dating back to the 1970s. And when patients try to stop them, half of them experience withdrawal, agitation, insomnia, sweating, mood swings, nausea, vomiting, which many construe as a return of their low mood. So this is talking about how hard these antidepressants are to come off of, because once you start messing with the serotonin in your brain, and these SSRIs are keeping that serotonin there, and they're recycling it essentially from receptors. Listen, I'm not a medical student. Listen, I just know what I saw in a video, and that's what it looked like. I know what happens when you come off of them, because I went through that. So when you come off of them, though, you crash. You absolutely crash. It would be like coming off like heroin or something. You're at your lowest of low mentally. You feel horrible, you feel gross, you don't have energy, you're the depressed you've ever been. And what this study is noting is that a lot of patients that try to quit these SSRIs, they get super depressed, and then they think that that's their depression coming back. And what it is that it takes time to get it out of your system. And actually, something that I found interesting when I was studying on this is that it can actually take a week to 8 weeks for SSRIs to work properly. So if you're not getting that medication, and let me remind you that a hospital stay at Chapel Hill is only 7 to 14 days. So if a hospital stay in a psych ward to get on these medications is only 7 to 14 days, that's not even enough time to see if the medication is working. And what did I say yesterday? I said they don't want the medication to work. They want you to get up on your feet long enough to push you out the door, and then you have to come back so they can make $2,000 a day housing you, trying different new drugs on you. It is a recipe for disaster, and they are not setting people up for success when they are putting them on these medications without allowing time for the medication to work. It can take up to 8 weeks for an SSRI to work properly. And when you're only housing them for 10 days, Big Farm, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff about Big Farm this year because I want to gear towards stuff that I actually know about. These medications is something that I know about because I was on all of them in my childhood. And I have even started the process of potentially getting records because I want to go over, I want to see what was going through my parents' head. I want to see what was going through the social workers' heads. I want to see what was going through the doctors' heads when I was a kid. And if I can get some of my medical records, then I can see notes and everything that was written down. And so we're going to be going over a lot of that this year. And also, these SSRIs, just to reiterate and be clear, there's only a 14% success rate with SSRIs. So if your doctor is offering you an SSRI, you might need a new doctor. Or maybe explain to him, it's only a 14% success rate, right? And then maybe drop on him that 74% of patients had a placebo effect with these medications. So they're psyching themselves out just because they're positive thinking. They're taking the meds and they're like, oh, the med's going to help me. And so the med does help them for a short period of time because they've done boosted their positive thinking up. And that positive thinking is what we call a placebo effect. So studies show that SSRIs are not an effective antidepressant, and studies show that we actually have tried and true antidepressant medications that could be front and center to actually help people of this country, but they're not being pushed front and center because pharmaceutical companies have lied in their reports to push their medications. I think 50 years from now, it'll be the exact same thing when it comes to gender affirming care. We'll look back on these medications and we'll be like, what the hell were we doing? I think it's very sad that, these drug companies, these people have children. These people have lives that own these companies. I just don't see how you could, be that evil. But they're all geared by money. That's the only thing that matters is money to these people. And they're willing, clearly, from these reports, they're willing to lie and doctor their own reports. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad. These medications are evil, and I'm glad that I don't have to take anything like that. And I was reading other people's comments on the medication, and someone said that the only time she is depressed or riddled with anxiety is when so there was a woman that said that she had bipolar disorder. And she said it's crazy because for 30 years, going through her teenage years, and then she was diagnosed at 18, and then she went through her 20s and her 30s. She said for so many years, they kept putting her on so many different medications. They would, just try new medications on her and give her new stuff to try and mix stuff together. And it was only when she quit the medications at around 40 years old that she realized that her bipolar disorder was not what needed help. It was her living circumstances, her finances that actually disturbed her bipolar disorder. She said when she had money to pay her bills, she didn't get stressed, she wasn't riddled with anxiety, and her bipolar disorder would essentially even itself out to a baseline, and she could stabilize her life and function in life around her bipolar disorder. She said that it took her many years to figure out that she actually didn't need any medication. What she needed to do was to learn how to just simply survive in life and be able to manage her condition without the medication, because her condition was only being worsened by her economic, life situations. And it's crazy because she said she didn't remember half of her 20s, half of her 30s because of these drugs. She said there's just missing spots, and I can relate to that. My childhood is like that. What I do remember is all bad. So I find it interesting, though, that she said that, she has been managing without any bipolar medications, without any antidepressants, without any kind of medication. And she's noticed that as long as she can financially stay afloat, that her bipolar disorder is manageable. Now, I know that this is not ideal for everybody, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone from taking their prescribed medications. Take your medication. If you're prescribed, it's for a reason. But I do think that a lot of people are overdiagnosed with conditions and overdiagnosed with medication, and it is in an attempt to make money in this country. Y'all know how I feel about the pharmaceutical industry, and we're going to be talking about them a lot more this year. I'm so glad that I found a report where it breaks it down. I mean, it tells you how they get these medications on the market. In that report, it stated that the drug companies do their own research on these medications, and then they turn in their research, they turn in their papers, their thesis, their results of these studies. And it said that they doctor and lie in these studies, and that explains why we have drugs like Ozempic hit the market and it's out here before it's even tested. And can I just say that people that take that, you can tell that you were on Ozempic. I don't know what else it does to them other than make them lose weight. But call me crazy, their faces and hair and everything else looks crazy once they get on that Ozempic. It does something to them. I don't know what. And it's not just weight loss. That Ozempic ages them. Okay? Listen, tell me they don't look older than what they actually are. Hey, Andrea. I'm sorry about the chat, you guys. I'm on it. I can't do 2 and 2, so I have to. Yeah, Zoloft. Great comment, Ross. Brenton Ross. Yeah, Zoloft is another dangerous one. Wellbutrin, Depakote, Zoloft, they turn children into zombies. I mean, just straight drooling on themselves. They can't even hold their head up. I still can't. You know what was crazy to me? I was thinking about this last night when I was thinking about being on these meds. It was crazy to me how the doctor would prescribe these things and then send me to school, and then I'd be falling asleep in school. What did y'all expect? Y'all knew that it was a side effect of the drug, and y'all dope me up on it. Y'all send me to school, and then I come home from school in trouble because I was asleep in class. I mean, it's just crazy. It's, and if it was this bad when I was a child, if I had my parents, the Department of Social Services, UNC Chapel Hill, and the school system all doing this to me, okay, drugging me up, beating the hell out of me, passing me around, okay, if the people that were supposed to protect me were doing this to me in the 80s and early 90s, imagine what that shit is like now for children. The real abusers work in government. The real abusers work in mental hospitals. The real abusers are out here walking amongst us acting like educators. My childhood, there's no excuse for what happened to me in my childhood. And the more I'm processing all of it, the more I'm realizing how screwed up it was and how many people ought to be in jail for child abuse. We also know from these studies that was done through the National Institute of Medicine that these antidepressants actually disturb early childhood development as well. That's something else that I was reading about is, these children's brains are not developed, and it's not good. It's not good. You're disturbing their development with these medications. I'm hungry and I've got to use the bathroom. I'm so frustrated with this headlight. I don't know what I'm going to do. At least I'm glad that they took the light bulb back, but like, where's this place at? Thing broke. Is this way? I don't freaking know. The girl in there was very lovely. Sorry. Come out of nowhere. So it looks like I'm going to be spending the whole day Sunday at church. There's see, you dumb bitch. Sorry. There's talking about church and cussing somebody out. There's service at 9 a.m. I'll have to get up at 5 because I got to drive. And there's service at 9 a.m. and then there's a movie playing at 6 p.m. So I'm going to spend the day with my aunt and the church people. We'll probably go get something to eat. She's getting on up there. It was my mom's sister. That's the aunt that I was telling you guys that I think something happened in their home when they were all they were all children, because it was like 10 of them, first of all, you know. But the family has always been so secretive about stuff, and that's part of the problem that I had with them when they were alive. Everybody else is dead. It's literally the only family member I have left, you know. Any cousins that I have, they creep me out. Y'all don't understand. Unless, maybe you do. I'm sorry if you do. I don't put myself around people that are a danger to me. Plain and simple. I don't put myself around people that, you know, don't know how to have healthy relationships. But, yeah, I don't know. They've always been so secretive, the whole family. Oh my God, this place is busy, y'all. I'm so upset about this car shit. I need money. All right, let's go. I gotta pee so bad. They got music on in here. I'll have to cut it off. Excuse me. Sorry. He said, "You're fine." I said, "Yep, he grew up here." Let's get a bag. I mean, a box. So we can eat. I'm starving. Big old fish. Hello, hello. Hope y'all are doing well. Thank you. We're gonna do lo mein today. Every time I come in here, there's no sesame. Every time. Look, sucks. It's fine. I guess we gonna have to do the chicken again. No, you're fine. Chicken. So riddle me this. How do we go in there and there's no music and then all of a sudden the music starts halfway with, you know, me trying to check out? That's weird, right? I have that happen a lot. That's how I know a lot of times. Like, I even have them cut it up. Like, ah! Listen. That's funny. Yeah, I do need toothpicks, but I got so much to do. I've got to go by the college, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and do talk at 2. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. There was something else I was about to say. Oh, Robert Brooks, now that I have service, I've been trying to post clips of his autopsy report because there was videos and stuff, and YouTube won't let me. It just so happens that his genitals were bleeding, so, you know, he was the inmate that was killed in upstate New York, and the body cam footage was released. The autopsy showed that his genitals somehow were damaged because he was bleeding. Now, whether that was the front or the back, the autopsy has not been specific. It's important because it's my theory, my belief that they sodoed him. You will discover a hidden talent for comedy. Bitch, I already am. Every time I've been in there this week, this is twice. $3.94. Bone apple teeth. Another thing that I was reading online this morning, the JonBenet Ramsey case, there was another girl that was assaulted. She was left alive, but it was right down the road from JonBenet's residence. This was some guy that abducted a little girl. He broke into the house. There appears to be a documentary, like a documentary. I'm gonna go watch that later at some point if I get time today. I don't know. Well, it doesn't look like I'm gonna go to missionary school, pastor school, but they still haven't called me back about that computer at the other school. So I have an appointment at a different school. My tuition will only be $2,000 a year. $2,000. $2,000. And that's only if I declare a major. I can do classes. And that's what I'm going to do. $2,000 a year. I cannot believe I almost signed a loan to go to Florida State at Jacksonville. I can't believe it. I almost signed paperwork to take out a $50-something thousand loan. Boy, them bullets I be dodging, let me tell you. You know, at that time, I'd made like a whole new group of friends in that area. And so, like, I felt like I was trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I'm so glad I didn't go through with it. Because I'd be in extreme debt right now. That's almost for free. That's what I'm saying. It's a great opportunity. Great opportunity. The fact is I'm better off getting a degree where I can work for myself rather than going to work for somebody else. I need to finish my degree and my life will get better. And another thing, I'm at a point in my life where I have to start thinking about the future. So if I don't go now, I might not ever. So I need to take this opportunity in this free school and do it. Spicy mustard. Oh, and then I'm doing some paperwork for a different school, right? And I get a text message from FAFSA. And I'm like, what is this? They're like, oh, we need you to renew for 2025. Y'all, I completely forgot you have to renew every year. So even though I got money for last year, I can't use it for this year. I have to do my paperwork over. It's not a big deal. But it would be if I was going to that pastoral school. It absolutely would be then, because classes start on the 13th there. It might be the 15th that week. I do want to see. I might pick up 3 classes if they have something else that I'm interested in. It's an elective course, so I don't know if I would even get a credit for that, but I might just do it. If the money's there and it's something I really want to do, I'm going to do it. I'm might not get this opportunity again. Or I could die. But I'd rather die and be remembered for trying than not. You know what I mean? So good. Thank you. It came from Altered State. It's a token from my past life when I could spend $150 on a fucking jacket. And I highly doubt I bought it because I would never spend $150 on a jacket. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Christmas gift. It's definitely warm. Surprisingly, because it's so tiny. Like, it's thin. That's the optimism. That's what I'm sticking with. I am optimistic. That was really good. I could probably eat double of that, but I'm not gonna because I don't need to. It's too much. I need toothpicks. It's right across the street. Oh. That's a nice Super Duty. Damn, what you gotta do for a living to afford that damn Power Stroke, though? Be able to write it off. Be nice. That's something else I gotta do this year. I've got to find a financial advisor because I should be able to write off my gas, my fucking truck, all of that. I use it as part of my business. So to walk into a bank and be a member of that bank and have some old ratty 90-year-old lady tell me I don't need a financial advisor, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If anybody needs a fucking advisor, I do. What are you talking about right now? God. And you know, that's what I'm saying. People are to the point they don't want to do their jobs that they're willing to put your life on the line. That's absolutely who I fucking need. What are you talking about? I need you to advise me on how to spend my money and how to accumulate my money. What have you been doing for 90 years, woman? Please tell me that you have not been advising people that they didn't need a fucking financial advisor. Can you advise me of who you've been advising? I was never getting out of here. This is my home now. And that's why we don't fool with that bank anymore. Not to mention, there was over 56, 57 instances where they had stolen money from me. And then that last $40 sent me over the edge. Them bitches better be glad I ain't crazy no more. I ain't violent no more. There we go. Still crazy. It's just preposterous. I'd be like walking into a tax office once again and they're like, oh, you don't owe money? You don't have to pay taxes. You ain't got to pay taxes. The fuck? Crazy. It's like walking into high school and being like, why are all these kids here? Why are all these kids here? You know what I mean? All right, card. So funny. Listen. We come in for toothpicks, and there was something else I needed that I forgot. And I thought about it last night. Laundry detergent. You know, this is why I buy that $11 container, because buying $1.50, $1.50, it starts to add up. Big time. That food was delicious, though. I needed that. I'm starving. I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do about this truck. Makes me so mad they can't get that light out. I guess it's done fused into the damn front of the headlight. You can't get it out. Not to mention he sold me the wrong one, but that's okay. It's okay. We returned it. The lady was wonderful. 10 out of 10 experience. She was lovely. Hey, thank you. Awesome. Everybody's all of a sudden nicer. Was it the damn Christmas have y'all stressed out? No, it ain't that. Let's see what they got. I'm out of breath. They got the kid ones. That's what I want. And I just said it and I've already forgot. Hey, there's my chocolate though. Chocolate, sugar-free. There it is. Where is... I forgot what else I came in here for. Oh well. Guess I'll have to come back next time I'm on the side of town because it's completely slipped my mind. Laundry detergent. I'm just going to buy... I'm wasting too much money going through those little ones. Everything is too big. Got my boots on though. Got my boots on. Hot cocoa ball. Oh, they got little cinnamon candy spoons. I wonder if this stuff's half off. Those would be good in coffee. And I don't use sugar. Oh, 22%. Hell no. 24%, that little thing. No, absolutely not. Hello. Good. How are you doing?
All right. Who's going to do it for you?
Yes.
401 today.
Awesome.
Yes. I can eat my weight in Chinese.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Oh God, Lord. Woo! Damn winter because you go through those so quick. 2 loads. It's literally, it says it's enough for multiple loads. That is not true. That thing is enough for 2 loads. Even if you use the cap that comes with the laundry detergent, it only fills it up like this much twice. So it's literally enough in one of those containers for 2 loads. Oh, I need to wash my hair today. I'm just gonna have to get a bigger one, and I need thermals. I don't know what to do about my car. I guess I need to call. What time is it? 12. Damn, the heat is pumping. Come on, Papa. Y'all, these terrorist attacks I was reading about this morning, they still don't want to link them. I think most of us can agree that they're linked, right? Oh, and one dude joined ISIS when he was damn young. He'd been radicalized very young. And his sister said that he become obsessed with ISIS and, you know, Islamic belief really hardcore the past since 2018. So during 2018 to now, you know, we know the pandemic happened. Jabbar, he actually was married twice, was in the military for almost 10 years, was in and out of constant legal trouble, was arrested several times, once for a DWI. He is the one that ran over all of the people in New Orleans and had a bomb in the car that did not explode. They now believe that he was actually working alone in New Orleans while he committed these acts of terrorism. He was living in a rundown trailer. They said he had chickens and rabbits and horses and I don't know what all, goats and chickens and some other stuff outside of his house because they executed a search warrant on Jabbar's house. But people knew he had converted to Islam. And then his sister says that he had gotten to where he was real radical and said crazy stuff. Girl, you don't think you should have called the FBI? He had 2 daughters and 2 ex-wives. And he was completely isolated to himself. What do I tell y'all? Mental health problems and isolation only fester. And he did, just like Ted Kaczynski. He did, right into damn ISIS's hands. Listen, I am the wrong one to try to brainwash, honey. I will argue to my dying breath. You know what I mean? You can't radicalize me, honey. You can't radicalize me. You ain't infiltrating this brain. You'll leave out butt hurt. Feeling dazed and confused. I'm an American. It's just crazy to think that this happened on one of our own military bases, that these men linked up, that they had the same beliefs. And the other guy apparently prematurely exploded the Tesla because he was a Green Beret. Matthew. I can't say his last name and I can't say the other one's first name so they just gonna be Matthew and Jabbar, okay? So Matthew was driving the Tesla truck that was trying to It exploded right in front of Trump Towers. So it's my belief that he was trying to make it in that building, but I could be wrong. But he prematurely shot himself before the bomb went off. So he shot himself, and then at some point the bomb went off. It don't really make sense why you would do that, but I guess, you know, it's better than dying in a shootout with the law enforcement, right? Just go ahead and take yourself out. Whatever floats your boat. Crazy. That's true crazy. That's crazy. That's what crazy is, you know what I mean? I ain't never did some shit like that. Both of them, though. ISIS members. Both of them have been radicalized by ISIS. Both of them had the same beliefs. I got some pawpaw on my ass. I'm about to slow down so slow, y'all. Fucking weirdos. They don't be paying attention. He just riding my ass like he might be mad at me. He might be some follower that's done seen that I talk shit about Kias. Listen, I'm trying to save you money, sir. If you want to go pay $50,000 for a 20-year-old used Kia, by all means, go get robbed. I simply try to explain to folks that they used to be buy one, get one free. And they still make them like they should be buy one, get one free. And because of your poor spending choices, now I got to pay double on a new car because everybody's just complicit in the stupidity. That's how we got here. Everybody complicit with blinders on. People take offense to everything, too. They take it personal, too. That's how you know people ain't happy. They be like, oh, wait a second. All I said was, is if you didn't do drugs and pass your body around to everybody, maybe you'd be happier. Oh, man. So we about to see if these people got some thermals. I'm debating if I want to go into Walmart or Goodwill, and I think I should check Goodwill first because they might have some in their man section. They got like a little work section for like blue collar worker stuff, and I might be able to find some men's thermals in there that'll fit me. That's what I need, is some thermals, because this is my only pair, and it's cold and it's gonna snow and I don't have any way to go, so I'm gonna be stuck here, honey. You know, lovely 12 degrees. I'm gonna have to run the truck all day long, and I don't know what the conditions are gonna be or where I'm gonna stay or what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna snow, it's gonna sleet, it's gonna ice, and it might be a bad one because the radar is showing that it's a big ass storm. Gotta go get me some milk and bread for my milk and bread sandwiches. My milk sandwiches. Or I could have cereal with bread. My bread cereal. I don't know why that's what everybody buys, but probably so they can make sandwiches, and eat cereal. In North Carolina, when it's about to snow, you can't find nothing on the shelves. No water, no bread, no eggs, no bacon. People panic and start, why is the flags flying at half-mast? Oh, because of that trooper that got killed. There was a cop that got killed in Greensboro, I think. They got the flags flying at half-mast. It's so sad, y'all. Thermals. We gon' freeze. We gon' freeze. We gon' freeze to death tonight. With this breeze and this temperature. Burr. Alright. Goodwill, Goodwill, Goodwill. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a goodwill, there's a way. Where there's a goodwill, there's an outfit. There you go. Come with me and you'll see a world of imagination. Hello. Ooh. Ooh. What size is them? Why ain't nothing got no size, man? Size 7. Those won't fit me. I'm a 2. Going to find thermals, and these are cute as hell, but they won't fit me, Andrea. They'll be too baggy. Are they stretchy? Kinda. I like the pockets on them. I need pants. That's the problem. That's why I'm buying thermals, because all my pants have holes. I'm gonna freeze to death. Sorry. I'm gonna freeze to death. Let's look for thermals. Oh my God. Those are too huge, and I hope I don't get a violation for that. I'm gonna be so motherfucking mad. Like, y'all don't even understand. I'm struggling so bad. It's gonna get to the point where I'm not gonna go in anywhere to stay and playing music. They didn't have any anyways. They need to look like these. Actual thermals. So I'm gonna have to go to Walmart. I can't wash these every fucking day. Pisses me off, man. Yep. All my work down the drain. And y'all know I don't make money off the lives anyways. So it's just frustrating. What are you waiting on? Turn. Jeez Louise. Like, y'all. People just don't know how to fucking drive. Come on, come on, come on. No, come on. Oh my God. Lady, you are a fucking 100 and don't need to be behind the wheel of a car. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Oh God. Yeah, dude, you almost just caused an accident. Like, if they drive this bad just in a Walmart parking lot, I'd hate to see them on the road. Shut up. You've got more than enough room, buddy. stuff away. Trash everywhere. Oh. Hello, hey Amy. This place is probably gonna, I need to vacuum that. This place is probably gonna be busy. It's Friday. Damn, I thought he was trying to run me over. I'm not having a good day. I'm having a shitty day. They couldn't get my headlight out, so they're going to have to go through the front or either drop the bumper to pull the whole entire headlight out to get it out because it's messed up. It's broken. So now I don't know what I'm going to do, and it's going to snow on Sunday. Monday morning, actually, and Sunday night. Putting them around your neck, they'll fit. Like, you can tell if they're going to fit. They're called a waffle pant, and they're really good if you wear them with jeans that are ripped. I just incorporate them into my outfit, you know. It goes with the damn farm girl theme. It'll be fun. I need these really bad. I noticed the white ones, not the best, okay? Not the best. But I do like the white ones. I just had to bleach them. Love that for me. But I do like these colors, so I'm grateful. $7.97 each. Lord have mercy. I'm so mad about today. And now it's the weekend, so I'm screwed without a headlight till at least Monday. You can't even get into Chevrolet without a fucking appointment. You gotta have an appointment everywhere. Even Walmart is going to appointment, honey. This time next year, you won't be able to roll up here and just walk in. No, no, no. You have to call and make an appointment. Mark my words, I've already experienced this. Experienced it in Florida. 3 different Walmarts. They simply do not take vehicles without pre-appointments. Welcome to the new world. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, I need those so bad. I've been freezing my ass off. So a good way to tell if they fit, let me show you. This works for all jeans, and you can do this based on how you like to wear them. So if you like them a little looser, then you're going to leave them a little, you'll see. Hold on. Put my hair up. All right. Pants. Oh, they long too. Hell yeah. Yes, thank God. So you're going to, sorry. Let me demonstrate. You're going to put them around your neck. If these are going to fit me, perfect. These are going to be these are not going to hug my hips. They'll fit perfect because there's a little bit of fabric. You see that little half an inch of fabric on the end? So they're going to fit me perfect. That's what you want. You want them to go all the way around. And actually, these have an inch of fabric that's loose. So they're going to be on my hips loose. They're not going to be tight. But if you want them to fit snug, then you would want the ends to meet perfectly. If it's too much fabric, if you're putting it around your neck and you've got like this much fabric on each end, they're going to be way too big for you. This works for men and women. It's tried and true, and it's the best way to try on pants in a department store. Wrap them around your neck. I know it looks crazy, but listen, I have no shame, honey. None. I ain't bringing this shit back. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time to bring this shit back. I need... Where's my vape? Where's my vape? Card. Alright, well, I'm about to run, y'all. I got a lot to do. I've got to be over at a school, so... This sucks. I'm really upset about this car thing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I guess I gotta call these shops while I'm on the way to the school because I got an hour drive. But, I guess we'll talk later or something. I don't know. I really had a lot planned today and nothing went through. It really sucks. The headlight, the bulb is stuck in the headlight. So the whole headlight's going to have to come out. So this is why I can't make plans, you know. It's shit like this. I have to just fly by the seat of my pants because this is nothing new. I'm actually surprised that I'm not freaking out right now because there's no telling how much that's going to cost. But it'll be fine. I can't do anything about it. I'm doing the best that I can do. all I really need to be doing is focusing on my sobriety, because without that, I am nothing. So that's what I'm doing today. And yeah, I guess we'll talk later. I hope y'all have a great day, and pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all.